Documenteers was a documentary-themed podcast that ran from 2016 to around 2020. The RSS feed was taken down, but now we're reposting these classic documentary film discussions every Tuesday for well over 100 weeks. Most of what you are hearing was recorded almost 10 years prior. So hear how we've grown. In some ways, we've changed, and maybe you can hear us in the process of those changes. I can't listen to them. I'll just cringe eternally at myself, but we hope you enjoy them and subscribe to us on YouTube and podcast for more discussions from all aspects of film. Keep on docking. Hello, Doggalos. It's your buddy. Happy November. Chill in the air. Get some hot chocolate. Thanksgiving's just around the corner. I love Thanksgiving. It's my favorite holiday, and I find that it's not most people's favorite holiday, but I think Thanksgiving is at the very least underrated. Also, there's a war on Thanksgiving. People diss it. On a worldwide level, it's just called like a harvest festival. But in our USA, it's Thanksgiving. We all know the Pilgrim Native American shit's a bunch of baloney. It's about getting together. But you know what? I love the food, and I love turkey. I mean, I just don't get why people hate on Thanksgiving. Anyway, I'm Bob Sham. I am the host of this podcast you're listening to, The Documenteers. We have left Creeptober behind. You got a surprise drop last Friday with Bisbee 17 with friend of the show, Eldridge. I'm not allowed to say he wants to be called Eldridge. And today on this episode, some fun stuff. Johnny and I finally get into the cult weeds as we discuss Bill Perrine's 2012 documentary, Children of the Stars. It's about this UFO cult in El Cajon, California, and they are on a Lisa Frank trip from hell, let me tell you. Just look up Ruth Norman, Uriel, Unarius, and we watched this on a Tubi app. You can go to Tubi.com. It's free there. There's commercials, and I noticed on the app that there's also like 2 minutes of just black space until the movie starts again. That's weird. But it's fucking free, and you can watch it there for peanuts. But Johnny and I finally get into it. We like to talk about religious and spiritual shit, and we get into some fun cult stuff, folks. And UFOs will come. We have all driven spaceships in our past lives. Next week on the program, Akil will join me, and we discuss one of the most prolific American producers / musicians. Hot off the presses, a 2018 fresh Netflix original, Quincy, a documentary about Quincy Jones. Akil and I had a lot of fun doing that one, and we hope you join us there next week. Oh, and real quick, because I keep forgetting to do this in the episode, follow us on social media at Documenteers. Contact us personally, documenteerspodcast@gmail.com. We have unofficial short playlist for each of our episodes at 8tracks.com under Documenteers. And give us a review on your favorite podcast player. Hit us 5 stars, or Apple Podcast reviews are tremendously helpful. Just show us some love out there and recommend us. Share your favorite episode on your preferred social media. I don't have Twitter, but if you do, why don't you share it? Share it. But enough of all that promotion. Please, let's get into the stars, the children of the stars, and all their many, many past lives. Keep on talking.
Now, here is a motion picture film. 1,000 feet, 16,000 separate photographs. Let's tidy up this tangle of film by putting it on a reel.
Uriel here. I am so happy to see you this day. And I would like to tell you of the wonderful ways of these beautiful spiritual worlds. Worlds filled with color and light, and the brothers all live in a love oscillation where they live one for the other and not for man for himself.
Johnny, this episode, the 50th Documenteers episode.
Whoa, man.
Seminole ep, big deal. We made it to 50. We'll probably be at almost 60 by the end of the year.
That's amazing. And we've been rolling for 1 year?
Almost 1 year solid.
Man.
This will be the first. Well, we dropped Bisbee 17 with special guest Eldridge, who is also my friend. But I have to bleep out when I say because he doesn't want his name on the podcast. He wants to be called Eldridge, not. He's giving me a hard time. But we did Bisbee 17. We dropped that last Friday. I mean, we bank way ahead of time, but let's pretend we're in the future. And yeah, so this will be the second, but the first official Tuesday, because we drop every Tuesday, but actually like Monday nights.
Yeah.
Anyway, I like to have fun with saying we're going to do something and then do it a little different.
Yeah, well, Tuesday's my Monday, so it's always nice to listen to a Documenteers episode to bring me back into the week, you know?
Now, Johnny, our ideas going into our episodes is to talk about culty shit.
Yes.
And we've weaved in and out, gotten into some, like American Jedi was kind of like, I think it's just wrapping around what you wanted, around your favorite sci-fi movies. And Hole in the Head was about the ancient art of drilling a fucking hole in your head.
Trepanation.
And did we do a Herzog? We did a Herzog, didn't we?
We did God's Angry Man, yes.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's a little closer to what we're wanting. This is the full-on, take me to the fun house cult fun that maybe we originally were thinking of.
Yes, and I think it took us a long time. I was wondering why it took us so long to get a real cult, like a culty cult, not just a fringe religious movement that could still technically be considered a cult, but it doesn't. When you say cult to the average American, they don't think TV, like televangelists. They don't think
German singers.
German singers. They might think about drilling holes in their head if they're privy to that kind of thing.
That seems pretty culty.
And they don't necessarily think of like the charismatic Christian movement of the early 2000s either.
Jesus Can't, right, our first episode.
But I realized it's probably taken us this long to do a real cult, like a culty cult.
I think our general ideas were to do religious, spiritual-based films, but we love cults.
Yeah, I mean, that's how we really started talking in depth about life at work, I think, was cults.
Where we came together. And you have personal experience hanging out with, would you call them a cult?
I think on their good days, they are an intentional community. On their good days, they're a commune, but there were plenty of things that there were culty elements to Jesus People USA. The fact that there was the massive hushing of child sexual abuse, and the fact that it could be a bit authoritarian. You would have to ask the council of elders if you were going to date somebody. You know, that's when you're getting into culty territory, and that's the thing. Like any religious movement that starts to exhibit more authoritarian symptoms can rightly be culty, right? But this one, it's taken us so long. I'm thinking I've been trying to get around to this point.
Right.
It's taken us so long to do a culty cult because I think this is one of the few that hasn't been covered to death at this point. Like this
one is fringe as hell.
It's fringe as hell.
But it's been around a long time.
Which is weird. And I can't believe they're not as dark as I was expecting them to be.
No.
Maybe it's because they hadn't heard of any murders happening, or, they're no Manson family. They're no children of God.
We heard about murders in past lives that they had to be redeemed for.
Which was fascinating, and I think actually makes them stand out from the other reincarnation hippies.
There's a Scientology kind of angle to that. Don't they have previous existences and lives that they also account for? It is often used to kind of entrap people, I guess, within the religion who literally believe that. Because a common aspect of Scientology, if you get out of it, is where they call you a child molester. And that implies that in your past life you did these horrible fucking things. And that pretty much every Scientologist in their past did horrible fucking things, because that leaves the window for you to be, I guess, I don't know if they would use this word, like emancipated.
And
come to the other side and get rid of those bad things.
Go clear.
Yeah, go clear. Exactly. Jesus People USA, that's like an offshoot of Children of God, right?
Actually, in the beginning, when Jesus People was started in Milwaukee, it split in 3 different ways. One part moved to Chicago, and actually ended up breaking down in Chicago and just staying there. That was what we know as Jesus People USA now. Part went to Europe and became the Jesus People Army, I believe. And then another segment, this is kind of like the war in heaven, where God lost a third of the angels.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That sounds cool.
Yeah. A third segment of the original Jesus people went off and joined the Children of God.
The Children of God is the...
So it's kind of a distant cousin, really.
Right. Children of God is where all the systematic abuse was occurring, which we'll probably get to that shit before too long, I would imagine.
I'd read a date-by-date account, and it was fascinating to see. You know, a lot of the stuff we've been covering kind of came from the hippies converting to Jesus-y stuff. It's taken all kinds of weird directions, like the charismatic movement that we see now, a few televangelists. Jesus People USA is obviously one of them, and then the Children of God. So it's interesting to see how different things have evolved from the same root.
What about the flying saucers? Are they going to come down?
Opinion is split on flying saucers and Jesus People USA.
Interesting.
To be fair, I only lived there maybe 2.5, 3 years.
Sure.
I wouldn't consider myself an expert on the community like many people call themselves.
You put in your time.
I put in some time. I definitely was a coordinator for a while. I kind of helped run the place.
I mean, there's the investment. And when you invest, everything opens with something positive. I mean, you're in here. It's almost a commune environment. You're learning genuine skills in those environments that can help you.
You are
in your life.
You're learning to live. Well, see, the thing is, there's so many good things about a lot of these communities that really could be used for good. The communal environment, the sharing is awesome. Learning how to live with 500 people to be able to get along. I mean, you have to learn to apologize for shit. You know, you have to be humble. You have to keep communication open and clear. Otherwise, you know, things could get real bitchy real quick.
When the apocalypse happens, I imagine these sects would actually be in better shape than most people outside of them.
It's hard to say. A lot of these communes might be healthier communities than...
in terms of a survivability.
Yeah. And also, regular society has its own underbelly. Underbelly.
There's the underbelly and the underbelly. Let's go to the underbelly.
So society has an underbelly, right?
Yeah.
The reason we're focusing on these is it's just out of the norm.
It's fascinating.
It's fringe, but I'm not sure it's more or less healthy than what we've got going on for us right now. There's murders, there's child abuse, there's stuff everywhere.
And these come out of the face of American culture. A lot of these are born from so-called standard American religions that have been around for a very long time. And this one we're going to talk about today has been around a shocking amount of time for a human lifetime. Very young for actually a religious lifetime.
Very young. I mean, depends on who you talk to. They would say their religion is very old, I think.
Oh, right. We'll get into that. But we were discussing the film by Bill Perrine. I believe this came out in 2012. We watched this on an app called Tubi.
Tubi.
Yeah, and it's like a free app. It has commercials and stuff, but...
one of my favorite documentaries ever, The Punk Syndrome,
which
is available on there. It's, long story short, to put out a teaser.
When we do The Punk Syndrome, Tubi will come in handy.
Tubi will come in handy. Long story short, it is some...
Somebody once told me the world is gonna roll me.
Young and middle-aged men in Finland who started a punk band. And they all have either autism or Down syndrome. They are punk as hell. I think they're an incredible band, and it's a fantastic documentary, so I can't wait to get around to that one.
I think it'll be early next year. We'll definitely get into it.
Yeah, so watch it. Watch it as many times as you can before we cover this.
But in Children of the Stars, it opens up on a fellow named William Proctor. He's standing in front of this. It's like an Oldsmobile with like...
the flying saucer on top?
Yeah.
Was that the one?
Airbrushed flying saucers on the side
with the tractor beam coming down?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's beautiful. I want that car so bad.
And William says in 1971, Martians were warred on by us. I don't know if listeners remember the war on the Martians that we declared in the 70s.
Yes.
Martians were human beings. They were just very advanced. They were very peaceful, but because we warred on them, they destroyed all but one craft. That's where the War of the Worlds came from.
Call it sci-fi, but it's real.
I keep saying it's the 70s. That wouldn't make sense if that's where the War of the Worlds came from.
It was ancient.
Yeah.
It was a very long time ago.
I'm sorry. It's an ancient war.
This is the beginning. This is basically the beginnings of the human race as we know it. Am I right?
Yeah. I guess so. There's going to be a lot of confusion when we're trying to parse through what these people are saying, because it seems like there's a past life answer for everything.
There is a past life answer for everything, and I'm not sure if it's all totally coherent with itself. Like, if you took everybody's timelines and put them together, I'm not sure you would have human history. It's hard to say what. I don't know. I don't know if I'm not sure if they focus on filling in the plot holes, so to speak.
We are at Star Center 1 in El Cajon, California. And we are at the Star Center 1 is the home of the Universal Articulate Interdimensional Understanding of Science.
Unarius.
There's a sign that says, "Welcome, Space Brothers." Space Sisters, I guess, had to stay on their home planets.
Uriel was saying that she was a space brother. I guess in a past life, everyone has been a space brother, I think is the point.
She's been all genders, Uriel. And Uriel, she's a woman named Ruth Norman, and she is the cosmic center.
Uriel here. I am so happy to see you this day. And I would like to tell you of the wonderful ways of these beautiful spiritual worlds. Worlds filled with color and light. And the brothers all live in a love oscillation where they live one for the other and not for man for himself. In these spiritual worlds of light and love, all the flowers and trees and growth, they extend this love to you as you pass them by. It is a beautiful and happy and joyous way to live, and you would never want to return to your earth world of warring and hatred and resentment after you once had a peek into these beautiful worlds of ours.
Describe Ruth Norman / Uriel.
Oh my God. Just imagine if you took a glamour shot of Tammy Faye Baker and then had that photograph airbrushed by Lisa Frank.
Yes, Lisa Frank. One of my favorite artists.
She's wonderful. I really love her.
She's great. Definitely some Lisa Frank vibe going on.
Oh, man. It is one of the most colorful documentary we have covered so far. It is visually amazing.
Johnny, I just got an idea that maybe I shouldn't say on mic, but we'll probably never do it because making apps is very expensive. Lisa Frank photo filter. Lisa Frank's your image.
That's got to be a real thing.
Come on.
That's got to exist already.
We'll have to look into it afterwards.
Yeah.
But Uriel is a wild lady.
But I will find it and I will use the shit out of it.
Yeah. When this episode drops, I'll probably, if it does exist, all the promo pics will be that.
Oh my God, yes. And then we can dress ourselves up as those people and then take pictures of ourselves through the Lisa Frank photo filter.
Yes.
We can be Unarians, Bobby.
What if you took a picture of Ruth Norman / Uriel with a Lisa Frank photo filter? Gobs of pink would probably just shoot out of your phone.
Dude, you know that deep dream filter that people were running things through?
Yeah.
Where it just basically looked like I've never been on acid. I know you find that hard to believe. You've said as much. I've never been on acid, but I imagine the deep dream filter is what doing acid would be like, where just like it's this swirling mass of colors and it's just these insects appear out of nowhere and faces. And I feel like running Uriel or Ruth Norman through a Lisa Frank filter would achieve that effect.
This might be one of my favorite humans. I mean, I say that maybe tentatively. You never see anyone so... A lot of these people are just so confident.
They are.
They're very confident in this. And I should point out that everyone we see, with a few exceptions, are like older white people.
Yeah.
This is a baby boomer cult.
And they're not even old hippies. Most of them don't even seem like super weird people in and of themselves. Like, they seem like normal people, except they believe that they were like a Luftwaffe pilot in a past life, and that's why their legs hurt, because they had both of their legs injured in a crash, and that's their punishment for their sin of being a Nazi pilot. Aside from that, they seem like pretty regular people.
Yeah, when you hear about accounts of reincarnation, especially in a new religious movement filter, a lot of people are talking about how like their past lives involved them being somehow very important.
Mm-hmm.
But some of these people are like, in my past life, I was this mass murderer. I murdered all these people, but we had to go forward in our lives to be, forgiven and learn to love our enemies. Also a very love cult.
Yeah. I'm not sure what I think about that, them being evil people. It still doesn't seem like there were very many normal people.
Yeah.
In their past lives. There weren't just like, I worked at a factory, I drank a little bit too much.
Yeah.
I built this cool playground for my kids, but I hit my wife once. Like, you don't hear just pretty regular working class 60s blokes.
That's true. I mean,
you don't see the...
even in their negative, they're still like very prolific.
It's still pretty fucking grandiose.
But this cult, or they probably wouldn't like us calling them a cult, the Unarians, are they Unarians?
Unarians, yes, not with an ANS, with a UNS. Unarians. Unarians.
They want the Earth to join the Galactic Federation. I'll give them that. I want that too.
I mean, hell, if they're good dudes, then we should join with those peeps.
If there's a Galactic Federation, let's just be a part of it.
Why not?
But Uriel, a.k.a. Ruth Norman, is an archangel, also known as the Channel. And she represents energy beings that have taken a physical form and love Lisa Frank. Lisa Frank should fund them.
An animated feature about the Unarians.
Yes!
I would watch that so many times. I would buy all the t-shirts. I would own all the posters.
Now, Ruth Norman, not really a shocker here. She had a sad childhood. She died in 1993. She was 93 years old. So she was born...
Shit, damn.
1900 to 1993.
At the turn of the century.
Yeah.
Almost lived through the entire century.
She's a teenager in World War I. She's of the Dust Bowl, the Great Depression. She is very much in a prime age when all of this shit is going on.
Dude, she was middle-aged in World War II. My grandpa was 16 in World War II.
My grandfather just passed away. He was in his 90s.
Sorry to hear that, by the way.
Yeah, and he was...
NASCAR accident, right?
Yeah, NASCAR accident.
I only said that because he said it first.
All right, I made that joke before. No, he fucked to death, actually.
It was just too good that time.
He was barely old enough for World War II when he got in, but he was just he was on escort ships escorting cargo from South America to North America. So it's too bad he couldn't intercept some of those runaway Nazis that went down to Argentina. But
oh, dude.
Ruth Norman, she had a couple of bad husbands, but something happens after World War II around the 50s. We start seeing flying saucers in the sky, man.
Fuck yeah, we do. They got a pretty decent timeline and a pretty decent theory for why we're seeing all these UFOs.
What is that theory?
We dropped the A-bomb.
Makes sense.
And the H-bomb. Sent ripples throughout the universe. So the rest of the humanoids, or humans, I think they're just humans, on other planets, especially Mars, started paying attention to us again.
And there's a reason why they're dressed in... All their aesthetic is centered around a 50s and 60s view of an intergalactic future.
Because all of those sci-fi movies, I don't know about all of them, but
pretty much all of them
are in some sense real.
Call it sci-fi, but it's real.
They are past remembrances.
Psychic remembrances
of their past lives, as filtered through the mind of the producer or the screenwriter or the set designer.
Star Wars real, Star Trek real, 1984, they're big on that one.
1984 was real.
Real.
That was the planet a lot of them came from, who staged the rebellion against Uriel. You remember that? Yeah, of
my
course.
Textbooks explained everything.
There was some kind of control, like mind control force field, or some sort of almost like psychological pollutant they put in the airwaves that really fucked with people's brains, and it created an authoritarian atmosphere.
Makes sense.
Not unlike Nazism, not unlike 1984, the English socialism.
So when you're watching like a 50s campy B sci-fi movie and you see an alien that just appears to just have halved ping pong balls for eyes, no, that's really what they look like. That actually happened.
But the green ones with the antennas, not real.
They said, they made it a point that there's no
not
antennas.
Real, no. The Martians are humans.
Martians are humans.
So it's not all accurate, however. The truth about humanity does come out through those. According to them, it seems like all mythologies are real.
Yeah, which is kind of a fun way to look at it.
The planet Ares was that one guy, I think it was a guy with the southern drawl.
It was Orson Welles that did War of the Worlds. Well, there was actually really a War of the Worlds, except it wasn't the Martians warring on us, it was us warring on them.
William.
William, yeah.
Billy.
One of the best.
I really liked him. He said to imagine Jesus and Buddha and Gandhi and Muhammad, etc., all hanging out. That's just Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha, Gandhi. Those are just normal run-of-the-mill people for the planet they came from.
Now, Ruth, she meets a fellow. His name is Ernest Norman.
In 1954, Ruth Norman met the moderator, Dr. Ernest L. Norman. These two great beings of celestial consciousness incarnated together for a very great purpose. That was to bring the interdimensional physics of Unarius to the planet Earth.
But he's not just Ernest Norman.
He's also Nikola Tesla.
And fucking Raphael, the angel Raphael.
He is. He is. And also, God, he was also another important...
Ruth saw Ernest's many lives. And they have many, many, many lives. Ernest was a scientist.
Mm-hmm.
That's just what the Unarians say. They didn't really show any credibility or like...
They did say he was pedantic.
He and Ruth wrote a lot of books about this stuff.
Yeah. There was so much to cover. They didn't cover him for very long.
At some points, I was getting my timelines confused, and I had to keep reminding myself, it's like, oh, a lot of what they're talking about happened in like 1964.
She was kind of the quintessential subservient housewife who did his chores, and I don't think they had kids, but kept house, cooked for him, that sort of thing. And then he passed away.
But Ruth, she goes from being your basic archangel to a full-on space goddess. This is a trippy ass movie. And there's I love that part where she's surrounded by angel boys when they're all dressed up.
Oh, yeah. She's got a harem of space brothers. By the way, I don't know if there was ever any hanky-panky there, but let's be real. If you get a chance to sleep with the Archangel Uriel,
yeah, you can't turn that
down. You're going to do it.
Yeah, angel boys. Where'd she get all those angel boys?
That's a good question.
Are they paying local actors? Because they made movies, too. They told their stories through film.
They did tell their stories through film, and they claim that there was no script. It wasn't acted. They got into these characters, right? They put their costumes on, and they became those characters. They were remembering these characters from a past life.
I just like the idea that they have to tell us that there was no script.
Leaders are great leaders. They have come up with the crystal lenses.
As if we couldn't figure that out as soon as we caught 30 seconds of any of their movies.
It's almost kind of like the religious version of, oh, don't pay any attention to it. I wasn't trying too hard.
It's not good to war on other tribe?
No, war is very, very bad.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I didn't have much time to prepare my speech. There was one especially where they got into the grass skirts, where they were going to be some primitive, stereotypical. You remember the Native Americans as portrayed by Disney's Peter Pan.
It's nice to have you back after the hunt, brother.
Yes, make 'em arrow sharp to kill boar.
We see 'em flying saucer.
Me strong, me can do it.
Me gotta sharpen 'em arrow so I can stab 'em the buffalo.
I'm sure many films in the future will be made in this manner. Each and every individual who took part in the film, the so-called actors, were not acting at all. They were each one reliving their own individual past.
Look, they just inhabited these characters.
Man, they were just like right there in the zone. They were those people.
It's too bad inhabiting them didn't mean they could suddenly speak their languages or anything.
It's not good to war on other tribe?
These people, all the sci-fi weird movies in the 50s and 60s, that's this religion.
Oh, yeah.
That's this religion. And then they pad it with actual UFO sightings, co-opt some of that angel lore and shit, even some demonology.
And all-world religion.
We meet a lady named Billy McIntyre. She's in this group, and she felt a jolt of energy from Ruth, radiant energy. And she realized that, oh my God, in the past, we are all advanced beings moving through lifetimes. And there are some fucking rad paintings.
Incredible paintings. They were, I wish you could see these paintings, y'all, so you would know why this was funny. But they were painted by somebody who was Leonardo da Vinci. in a past life. If that painting of like Jesus praying in the garden that your grandma had in her house, you know that one, where he's up on the rock and he's got his hands pressed together. If that could be a felt painting, it would be these paintings.
Yes. They represented, these were shown as who Ruth was in past lives.
Yeah.
They go through a cavalcade of names.
I thought it represented who a lot of them were in past lives.
But also there are paintings of people or beings that are represented in the Galactic Federation, which consists of 33 planets. So we also see paintings of 33 different beings that represent the Galactic Federation.
Right.
But in other lives, Ruth claims to be like Muhammad's wife, Quetzalcoatl, Zoroaster, the founder of Zoroastrianism.
Oh, that's right.
Just so many people. My favorite, I think it said the Statue of Liberty, or at least the person that was modeled for the Statue of Liberty.
I did appreciate that very much.
The Mona Lisa, which we always assume that that's like a person named Mona Lisa. There's really not that much evidence of that. That could have been a man, at least in some composite way, you know?
Right.
But no, she was the Mona Lisa.
She was the Mona Lisa in some sense. I don't know how that works. These paintings were painted by someone who was Leonardo da Vinci
in a past
life.
Makes sense if you see the quality of these paintings.
So what were you going to get around to? Because I really wanted to talk about Lucifer.
Oh, well,
we haven't even fucking touched Lucifer, and that's the part that blew my damn mind.
As there are archangels, there are archdemons.
Yep.
We meet Antares Spiegel, who is a willfully obnoxious person who is also Lucifer.
And while they were driving, she looked at him and she says, "I know who you are." It hadn't come out yet that he was the fallen angel. And so he just quietly took that in. Finally, he said to her, this is really very funny. He says, archangel and archdemon traveling together, which was kind of cute.
But their idea of Lucifer is he didn't get expelled from heaven. Lucifer was more like, you know what? I don't need this. You're not my real dad. And he gets out of heaven. He bails. That's their interpretation.
Their theory is that when you become prideful and egotistical, that prevents you from experiencing the higher vibrations of existence. So whenever he became prideful, this honestly isn't too far from the ancient Judeo-Christian mythology. But whenever he became prideful, that prevented him from accessing the higher vibrations of humanity, and therefore it was kind of a fall from heaven, so to speak, into the lower dimensions of existence.
Tara, because they think that all sci-fi stuff is what they call a psychic remembrance. Mm-hmm. That fucking Flash Gordon in Star Wars, those are documentaries. Well, docudramas. Really. Which maybe we can cover them then. I mean, if this podcast was hosted by Unarians, then we could do any movie as a documentary.
God, I wish I could do that. Can we do that?
We have to convert first, I guess. They really are looking for young people, like mid-30s.
I think my religion frowns upon that, Bobby. Converting to the Unarians.
Maybe just ask him.
I'll talk to my priest about it soon.
But Antares, he starts dressing like the Flash Gordon villain Ming the Merciless. They don't call him that. I'm just a nerd enough to know what he's dressed like.
Right on.
And he's walking around dressed like full Ming the Merciless.
Oh my God.
Which is a classic Cold War, like yellow face villain, basically.
Oh, right. Yeah, he has the stereotypically Asian facial hair, the Fu Manchu mustache, and the long goatee.
Right.
Also, not unlike a lot of the pictures I've seen of Aleister Crowley.
True.
With the really intense eyebrows and the goatee and the long facial hair and sometimes was he wearing devil horns sometimes?
I think sometimes, yeah.
Okay.
It seemed like he had some costumes that he changed into a lot.
But I assume this was in the Unarian films that he was dressed up as Ming the Merciless.
He kind of reminded me of the Sith Lord from American Jedi, the guy who dresses like he works for the Geek Squad at Best Buy.
Yes. Except this guy he led the revolt against Uriel, against the good archangels.
Yeah. Very important past life.
a very important past life, and a lot of the people in Unarius were complicit in that. They helped him. I don't know how long it took for him and Uriel to reconcile. They were enemies for thousands of years.
This adversarial relationship comes to a head at some point. We'll go ahead and say that he is free of his darkness and he converts into light with an amazing hairpiece, by the way.
Oh, beautiful.
And he becomes in league with the Unarians in their positive light. They're forgiven his evil. So he sheds his Lucifer persona. They said that was 95 million years in the making. 95 million years.
Jeez.
William says that there's no such thing as imagination. They are all psychic remembrances. Every whim of a thought you've ever had, you're just remembering your past lives. Man.
Believe all of your thoughts is what they're saying.
Believe
you should definitely
everything you believe.
Never doubt yourself.
Some people have recollections right in front of us on camera. It's pretty impressive.
Like I said, the one guy who was a Luftwaffe pilot. Well, that wasn't right in front of us on camera, though.
I think that was William, right?
That was William, the guy with the southern drawl. Yeah. My favorite.
But we also meet who might be a contender for me for favorite as Carol Robinson. She is a student of the Unarians, and she's very connected with this past life, and she's taken some past life therapy classes. She remembers a past life where basically what happens is she got a case of poison oak. I'm really paraphrasing here because I had to kind of rewind these scenes with these stories that they were telling, and where I'm like, what the fuck did she just say?
I was just sitting there on the couch with my mouth open. That's it.
She had some poison oak. This is, I hope I'm right in this. And she realized that poison oak, it led to a past life where she poisoned a water supply or something.
Yeah.
And that poison oak breakout, it's not because she touched poison oak, Johnny.
No, it's because she cursed the ground on which she was standing.
Yeah.
And it's come back to her. What she's really saying, though, despite all the mythology, the most interesting part to me was what she was really saying was everybody is acting out their past pain. Everybody is fighting a hard battle, like I think Socrates said. Everybody's just acting out, and we all do this, so we all need to have sympathy for each other. It was a weird way to get around to that, but I thought it was beautiful.
They're just very open-hearted, loving Scientologists with way better style.
Way better style. I mean, their style is fantastic.
Billy, another Unarian, Billy, is hanging with Carol, and we see them sitting together, and they recall a time where they were elite cops in the Orion galaxy.
The whole thing started at a time in Orion constellation, thousands and thousands of years ago, maybe 1 million years or more.
We were partners in Orion as police officers, what the police
elite
was.
Police.
The elite police.
That's right. Totally just regular Joe job, you know?
Yeah.
Elite cops.
Elite cops.
In the Orion galaxy.
They really did some cool cop things. There could be... The Unarians should make a show, like a web series, about Billy and Carol's past lives where they were elite cops.
Oh, man. A procedural cop drama about Orion. Oh, God. CSI yes. Orion.
Yes. I would watch that shit. It'd be the only CSI show I'd ever see. There's a place called Jamul, California, not too far from here, where they believe that ships will land and stack on top of each other like plates.
I think 22 high.
I believe each ship will have about 1,000 scientists. This will help the world, of course. They come from what is this? Is it the planet Lemuria is where they're supposed to come from? What is Lemuria again?
Lemuria is, I mean, this is some kind of strange ancient society speculation that has been around, I think, before them.
Right. They used to inhabit the Earth.
It used to inhabit the Earth. It's like Atlantis.
Right.
It's a continent that has sunk. California is part of that, and so is Hawaii.
Huh. Yeah,
those were both connected by the same continent of Lemuria.
Now, when they make these movies representing their stories, their past life, that's because they say you can't change the now unless you relive the past. All about reliving the past, all the way back to when they were cavemen.
Me strong, me can do it.
Me smash rock.
Make him arrow sharp.
Hello, spaceman. There's this guy, his name is Dan Smith, and he wrote Roots of the Earthman, which was inspired by Uriel. And Ruth told Dan that his script is about one of his past lives.
It really happened.
Dan said he didn't realize it.
I thought I was making it up.
I don't know how it didn't occur to him when everything is about their past life. But he says, wow, Ruth, you're right. Also, they put on films and performances of the crucifixion because that's the psychic experience that they all lived through. I guess maybe Ruth was Jesus in the past?
I think part of their mythology is that they were all there. That they experienced most of these things together. They have been together as a group for perhaps millions of years.
Yeah, 95 milli, at least. At least.
Dude. So they were all there at the crucifixion. They were cavemen together.
They were showing a clip of one of these movies where they were Native Americans, and it was like a contest to see how much you could say the word moccasin.
Tired of making these moccasins. They seem to always be wearing out.
Well, perhaps the rabbits are getting more hungry these years.
Just said moccasin over and over.
Well, you have moccasins or many moccasins to make.
What?
The moccasins. You can do moccasins.
No, I don't want to do moccasins.
If only they channeled actual like Navajo or whatever language they should have been speaking.
You know what that reminded me of? My dad lived in the woods in Hawaii for like 5 years. He kind of, actually tuned in, turned on, and dropped out. He lived in this little makeshift village, basically made up of white hippies, just the jungles.
Howleys, as they call them in Hawaii.
Yes. But not all Howleys are hippies.
No.
But pretty much all hippies are Howleys. You know what I mean?
If you're white and you're in Hawaii,
you're a Howley.
Unless you were born, I think the only way you are not a Howley is if you were born there.
Yeah, Howley means foreigner or outsider.
Yeah. Why do they call them Howleys? Is it because when people show up with leis and drink a bunch of Mai Tais and go, woo?
No, Bobby, it's an actual Hawaiian word.
Oh, okay.
It is Haole.
Oh,
Howley.
Cool. I hope it's a derogatory word.
It is.
Cool.
Dumb fucking holy.
It's slightly pejorative, but it's not always an insult from what I understand. Anyway, these Howleys that my dad lived next to, he had a grass hooch, and there were two brothers who were convinced they were reincarnated Native Americans. They wore loincloths, and they rode on the same horse without a saddle. Whenever the police choppers would fly overhead looking for marijuana crops, they would run outside and shoot at them with bows and arrows.
Dumb fucking holy.
That's what that reminded me of. It's like, I'm pretty sure one of them died in a mental institution.
Oh.
But the thing is, if you're actually a reincarnated Native American, you'd think you could be a lot less racist about it.
It's not good to war on other tribe.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it just...
This is the most baby...
Maybe if you can do something to, like, break the stereotype that white people have in their heads about Native Americans.
Yes, make them arrow sharp.
This is the most baby boomer religion that's ever been baby boomed.
Oh, God. That's pretty much the whole hippie movement, when you think about it.
Dan's past life destroyed a whole fucking planet. This is what we're talking about. They're willing to accept negative aspects of their past lives.
He didn't just like scratch somebody's car in a past life. He wrecked the whole fucking planet.
He didn't rear end a spaceship.
Nope.
He destroyed a whole planet.
He committed genocide.
And Dan's negative side came out, and he exposed it and overcame it. Now, if you really believe... Like, if you're a person who now is good, and you truly believe that you committed mass genocide of an entire planet, how would you live with that? If I truly believe that, I would have a very hard time.
That's one of the things that I actually, in some weird sense, found impressive about their mythology. Was that, okay, so there's Scientology, right? I'm going to go ahead and say Scientology is not a respectable religion.
Oh, snap!
In any way, shape, or form.
David Miscavige probably listens, I think.
Well, good. You're a dick.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh.
More like dickhead Miscavige, am I right? Because it doesn't really seem to deal much with the actual evil that lives in humankind. It's more like what's preventing you from success. That's what Scientology is about, right? The Unarians were actually, in a weird way, through a strange mythology, they were aware that every single one of them, as individuals, was capable of committing horrible deeds. And that once they recognized that fact, they could they could overcome it. They could be saved from it, and that they could change. But to use Judeo-Christian terms, once they recognized their own sin, they were able to repent of it and move on, which is pretty fantastic. I mean, that's actually quite redemptive when you think about it.
But everyone has committed the worst fucking things possible, because the worse you did, the more impressive it is to overcome.
That is absolutely true. However, on the flip side of that, they were all, as individuals, willing to admit that they were all capable of great evil, which is super cool.
Yeah, that
is very important and actually kind of wise, especially for a white people appropriating world religion standpoint.
They definitely
it's pretty good.
They have a "you must learn to love your enemies" aspect of this.
Yeah,
which is one of the more admirable parts of things like Christianity.
Yeah,
that sense of forgiveness and the importance of it, as
shown by Lucifer and Uriel finally reconciling after 90-something million years.
Wow, impressive.
As far as sci-fi mythologies go, you could do worse.
We got many of these films that they make, like Lemuria Rising, Misu the Magician. They did a movie called Snake People, which was about snake cults. Why are snakes always represented as so negative? I guess I know, like in Old Testament fashion, that is why, but snakes are good. They're good for the ecosystem. We need snakes. Stop shitting on snakes, people. Stop.
That might be a Western and Middle Eastern Judeo-Christian. I don't really know how other world religions see snakes.
Well, in Carol's past life, because she was in one of those snake cults or was involved somehow.
I, as the priestess, would dance with the snakes, but I had a little trick that people didn't know about. I would devenom the snakes so that I could stay in charge by them not killing me. But then the ones that were out with them could kill them. You see, do them in, but not me. And they were like, "Oh, you're so wonderful. The snakes, they love you."
Carol is like...
cool as shit. Is that what you're going to say?
I mean, she's way rad.
I mean, she's kind of great.
When I was 16 or 17, I thought I was like super poetic. I just kind of decided I was.
Yeah.
And I very much was like showing off of my writing abilities to the point where I was like, "Teacher, I have another poem to read to the classroom." I think back on those days, quite embarrassing. But like every teenager kind of goes through this in some way or another.
Oh yeah, the grandiosity.
And if you are an artistic person and you're going through your life, it's a process, and you get to this point where you kind of learn to understand yourself and can laugh at yourself, because all good artists, as they move forward, have things that like they're embarrassed by in the past.
Oh, absolutely.
Carol doesn't have that problem. She had that point and never left it. And in a way, I'm very envious of Carol.
It's really endearing.
Yeah.
She might be fucking insufferable to live with. I don't know.
She
would be a delight to talk to.
You could say anything to Carol about anything, and she will correlate it on the spot to some element of a past life that she lived, that she shared
with you.
With you.
Yeah. She's going to insert herself into all of your experiences. Basically a past life assault.
Yeah. She's like, "I held you all night.
Can't you just...
in the Orion system.
Can't I do anything in the past 95 million years without you barging in to my memories?
I watched you sleep 10 million years ago.
Get out of all of my
experiences. I stared at you while you were sleeping.
Fucking hell, Carol.
Carol, stop harassing me in the past.
She's basically a past life stalker.
Yeah. Oh, shit. I didn't even think about it like that.
No, I don't like Carol anymore. I was wrong. She's not cool.
Johnny, fun fact. Martians bred with humans and made the Chinese.
What? I must have...
Did you miss that part? They just kind of threw it. That's the thing with this.
It's going to take a few watches to catch everything.
Even though we're doing this episode now, I will be revisiting this film.
Oh, fuck yeah.
We may have to do an addendum sometime down the road. The reason why you don't see Martian cities is because they moved underground. Not just the Martians, their skyscrapers, I guess. They're all underground on Mars. That's why.
Shit, damn.
Also, the Lemuria continent was sunk by a Martian laser. I think that's what they said.
And then what we see now of Lemuria is Hawaii and California. Yeah. I don't know about Tonga, about Tahiti, about the non-American parts of Lemuria, but Hawaii and California were definitely part of it.
Atlantis was a part of North America, and it ranged from, this is a big landmass, from South America up to Iceland. That's a lot of continent.
Holy shit. So that was like the whole Atlantic Ocean, is what you're saying.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Atlantis was the Atlantic Ocean.
Got it.
Also, but Atlantis developed something called the power tower, which provided energy to entire cities. This is where the Nikola Tesla...
I was about to say, I wonder where they got that idea.
Nikola Tesla is considered an archangel.
That's right.
Oh, he's the Archangel Mesiel. What they claim is a lot of what Nikola Tesla was attempting to achieve in his career.
Oh, he was trying to relive his past life as the archangel who gave everybody free power?
Yeah, which would be pretty sweet. We could use that.
Man, if anybody feels like fact-checking this entire timeline and telling me how this went down...
Good luck fact-checking 95 million years worth of us.
I mean, just like making a timeline of all the things that they claim happened just in this film, that is an incredible story. That's like 100 years of solitude, but in space.
Yeah.
Actually, no, that's just one family.
There's so much, and everything's connected, man.
95 million years of solitude.
They have often come to this point in the hopes of spaceships landing.
Mm-hmm.
But spaceships are not landing, and that's because there's negative forces that abort the ship landings. In order for these beings to come down and bring us their enlightenment, to take humanity to the next level, we have to somehow get on that level, because every time they don't show up, it's because there's too many negative forces.
Yeah, and they were going to come back in 2001, if you remember. I have absolutely no idea where they got the number or the year 2001. But 9/11 happened, and then the Martians were like, they're not ready.
Listen, Martians, let me make a case for the Martians.
They have some growing to do.
Martians,
we can't get along yet.
Because of this stuff you're seeing, we could really use your help. Maybe just come down. Just come down and give it to us.
Yeah, I mean, why would you wait for us to figure this out on our own for you to visit and tell us what you know? Because it seems like the purpose of your visiting, Martians,
is to enlighten us.
Is to enlighten us.
But yeah, we got to be on your level in order for you to come and enlighten us.
I mean, to quote one of your peeps, Jesus Christ, he was someone who was one of you in a past life.
Yeah, of course. Everyone knows that.
It's not for the healthy that a doctor exists. A doctor exists for the sick. So, I mean, we're a sick society, dude. Come down. Help us out. It seems like 9/11 should have made you come down and help us out quicker. I'm going to go ahead and put that out there.
Maybe Martians are cowards.
Oh, snap. Oh.
I know that. Oof.
Fuck, man.
Throwing that out there. I know it's harsh.
Dude, you basically insulted the entire master race. You know that?
They're never going to land now.
God.
Billy and Carol tell a story about how they chopped up somebody in a past life.
In that past lifetime with Uriela's Hatshepsut, we had beheaded her. We had chopped her all up and threw her in the Nile.
We were like two kids with a tricycle. Like, it's mine. No, it's mine. No, it's mine. We did it. We got her. Whatever.
Billy and Carol need their own show. They're just like nonchalant, like, oh yes, and then we chop this body up into a bunch
Billy
of
and
little
Carol,
pieces.
Special Victims Unit.
You think Billy is the painter? Because I got in my notes here, Billy painted a Da Vinci channeled painting of Uriel and Antares.
Yeah, so Uriel and Lucifer.
With Tesla's help, I think.
That might have been Billy. Fuck, I want his art so bad.
Her. Billy's a lady. Billie.
Oh, I was thinking Billy as in short for William.
Sure, I get that.
The guy with the drawl. Okay, Billy the lady. That's right.
Billy is also the ruler of the underbelly.
Tying it in.
Nail it. You. William Proctor said that when he was a kid, and you mentioned this earlier, he had pains in his legs, and his mom would have to rub his legs. Mm-hmm. I used to get growing pains pretty bad.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like that was.
Yeah, and
go ahead and
then William remembered that he was in the Luftwaffe.
I saw a movie played in my head. The plane was on fire. I had crashed, and I was getting out of the cockpit. I lived, but my legs were crushed. And when I came into this life, for real, my mom had to take me to the doctor on a regular basis because my legs hurt all the time. I spent the rest of my so-called service for Germany in a concentration camp as a colonel.
Yep. And he had to use 2 canes to get around. He was ruthless in a past life.
And Carol, of course, recognized him from when she was in Nazi Germany.
When I first met him back east in North Carolina, I looked at William and I said, I know you. I know where I know you from. He says, where? And I said, Nazi Germany. He said, get away. He had a reaction to me, a negative reaction, which I'm used to because of who I've been and the deeds I've done.
They're old friends.
Carol, the past life stalker. God, make your own fucking memories, Carol.
Throughout this movie, we talked to an author who objectively wrote a book and studied the Unarians.
God, I've got to read.
Yeah, I want to read this book too. And she seemed very patient in explaining this. But towards the end of the documentary, you could tell that there's a little bit of exhaustion on her part. She's like, with these people, there's never a resting point. And she says that, look, even in basic sociology, a coincidence is just a damn coincidence. But there are no coincidences with the Unarians.
Yeah, that phrase, shit happens, they never use that.
They're doing the 28th Conclave of Light, where there's a parade of Space Brother banners. Each banner representing the Space Brother from one of the 33 intergalactic confederations. They released 33 doves for each planet.
They release it from a scale model flying saucer.
Which is pretty dope.
Pretty great, yeah.
Do you think they still do this?
If they do, we're taking a pilgrimage out to
El Cajon.
Yes, and we are going to cover this on Documenteers.
I think for real, this is worth a trip.
It's kind of amazing, Bobby.
And that's pretty much the end of the film. But as the credits are rolling, Carol, you know what, I'm coming back to it. I love Carol. She talks to the director. She says,
well, I want to talk about you and me real fast. Get that out of the way. The positive side. We have known each other in our past lives. And I know you have interviewed me. For instance, in the constellation of Orion, I was a spokesmodel at that time. I was real tall, real slim, blonde hair, and people had to use cameras to have me on all the videos on all 100 planets. So that's where I know I've known you from. Because I felt so familiar I could tease you, like I had known you forever, and it's been a good million years since we've been in Orion, or 800,000 years.
We made sweet, passionate love. It was the cameraman, right?
Yeah, it was the cameraman.
Yeah, he was her photographer as a model.
Yeah, she was hot too.
She was gorgeous, just
fucking hot,
smoking. I forget who she said she looked like.
But look, if Carol says it, I believe it. Now, Johnny, we don't rate things in a star rating scale. I know the Unitarians, they like the stars. Mm-hmm. It's a big part of what their belief system. I happen to think they're trash. Maybe I'm more on Antares' side, the fallen angel side. We're in the more of the underbelly, if you will.
Shut up, Bobby.
We rate in the Herzog rating system. You're going to give this 1 through 5 Herzogs. I'm going to give this 1 through 5 Herzogs. And then we will combine them like a 22 stack of spaceships for best out of 10 Herzogs. Johnny, what did you think of this film? Children of the Stars by Bill Perrine.
Oh my God. You know, it was visually beautiful. Like I said, glamour shots meets Olin Mills photography, meets Lisa Frank, meets Tammy Faye Baker, and that lady with the pink hair from TBN.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it was visually stunning, and it never stopped being interesting. There were clips of those old sci-fi movies when they were talking about their past lives.
Tons of those.
Yeah, there was a lot of swirling colors. Costuming was unbelievable. For being a documentary, this was beautifully staged because this is just how they fucking live. This is their reality.
I thought like, oh God, it's going to be a lot of these corny clips. But it was like, no, this is their history according to them.
And you know what? They didn't have to dramatize anything. They just sat these people down and had them talk about what they believe, and that was fascinating. It turned into an insane spider web of a story about where they met each other in past lives, and just like I said, someone please write down a timeline because this is blowing my damn mind. Her voice, all that echoing, Just all the senses, except the sense of smell, unfortunately, and the sense of touch. The other three, it was amazing. It sounded great. It looked great. And what was the other one? What was the other sense? Didn't taste great. Just kidding. 2 senses. It sounded great and it looked great. So they went into what the people actually believed. My only problem with it, seriously, my only problem with it was that I didn't hear about very much scandal. Maybe it wasn't even there, but I feel like if there was scandal, they would have put it in the documentary because that's how you grab attention for your documentary, you know?
I'm sure the director would have included that because there were some points where the director seemed like it was lasering in on the silliest things, you know? Seemed like the director was willing to embarrass these people if they allowed him to do so.
Right. Like at some point, there should have been a murder. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Or there should have been some form of like culty slavery going on where someone's trapped in this and they can't get out. But I didn't see any disgruntled ex-members, which is weird. Anyway, they cover all the bases for me. My only problem was that it was not long enough. I wanted to see more. So I'm giving it 4.5.
Wow.
Almost perfect.
Almost. Wow.
I fucking love this documentary so much. I feel like it shows so much about people. It really does.
I personally felt like I was pulled in 2 different directions. I felt like the time they gave us did feel a little long sometimes, but I was endlessly fascinated with people telling their stories, and I had to press back 30 seconds button to be like, what the fuck did they say they did on fucking Orion forever ago? I never got tired of looking at Ruth Norman or these clips. I don't know how hard it'll be to sit through their movies, but I'm kind of thinking about sitting through some of their movies.
I would gladly do that with you.
God, that might be like eating a family-sized bag of gummy bears, where it's like, oh, this is so great, and then you have that one too many, and you're in bad shape.
You never know until you try, Bobby.
That's true. Oh my gosh, but I felt like it maybe was a little more draggy to me, but it was also, these people are legitimately fascinating. I think as a film, all in all, I felt like it was pretty much fine. I felt like the director was trying to get a little cheeky, but it seemed like he was pulling back a little bit as well, because you don't really need to get cute when you got this material.
It sells itself, dude.
Yeah.
It really does.
I watched this with my household, and there was a lot of times where they were laughing. But at the end, admittedly, the people I was watching it with fell asleep, like right at the last 10 minutes.
Wow.
And then something happened at the end, and they woke back up, and they saw the image of a lady, Lisa Frank, vomiting everywhere, and were like laughing like out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I'm going to give this movie, I'm going to give it a 3.5.
Okay.
It's a little above average. And I think for me, that's where it does. But it did introduce me to these people, and I will be taking that fascination forward.
Oh, my God, yeah.
And we have got to go see one of these ceremonies if they're still doing them. But I'm worried, Johnny, because there doesn't seem to be anyone under the age of 50. I'm worried that this cult will die out. And
it's like the Shakers. They're just dying off.
Now, they've survived 95 million years so far. We can't let them die off. We need to support the Unair Eons.
I mean, do any of them even have children? Are they?
I mean, they probably have kids that don't talk to them, sure. Carol can just imagine all the kids she's had.
Well, when I was Carol's child in a past life, I didn't talk to her either.
You know, Carol and I know each other. We gotta go find Carol. Anyway, that's this movie, folks. Is there anything you wanted to add, Johnny?
What the fuck just happened to me?
I think I call this a Johnny movie. This is a bona fide Johnny
This
movie.
is a bona fide Johnny movie. Much like my best friends, like whenever they say Johnny movie, this is probably what they're envisioning, actually.
If you want to know the things that Johnny thinks about, watch this movie.
If you want to know what it looks like inside my brain,
watch Children of the Stars by Bill Perrine. And listen to his WXNA show, which is archived, The Unlistenable Hour.
WXNAFM.org.
Johnny, thanks for doing this. I'm glad we got to a real culty one. These are fun. We got to do culty again.
We really do.
You gave it 4.5. I gave it 3.5. You combine that. That is
8.
8 out of 10 Heard songs. That went higher than I thought it was going to go.
I liked it a lot more than I expected, actually. I thought it was going to be a letdown, but it was even better than the trailer.
A surprising 8 out of 10 for Children of the Stars by Bill Perrine. Keep your eyes to the sky and keep on docking.
We 1011 with myself, space beings, space brothers, have come to your world.
It not good to war on other tribe?
No, war is very, very bad.
We're retarded. We're really mentally retarded on our world.
Dumb fucking holy.
I'm sure many films in the future will be made in this manner.